Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today we're heading to South America, to Peru, to the Palpa lines. About a year ago, I made a video about the Nazca lines. You'll find the link in the description. But today we're going to talk about the Palpa lines, which are often mistakenly mixed up with the Nazca lines. How are the Palpa lines different? You'll see that they aren't the same representations as the Nazca lines. It raises questions that could be even more intriguing than the Nazca lines. So, without further delay, let's take a look together at what the Palpa lines are, what they represent, what they could represent, and what people say about them, both officially and alternatively. In short, a comprehensive overview of this magnificent enigma of South America. The enigmatic Palpa lines, predating the renowned Nazca lines by a millennium, have been studied by researchers who have identified over 600 distinct lines and geoglyphs in the Palpa area to date. These mysterious figures, believed to be created by the Paracas people known for their elongated skulls, remain a profound enigma. The big difference with the Nazca lines, whose shapes are rather crude, is that the Palpa lines present a completely different reality. Bigger, more modern, and therefore even more intriguing. To such an extent that I'm convinced it wasn't the same people who carved the Palpa lines and the Nazca lines. As mentioned, the Palpa drawings differ from those in Nazca. Now we'll explore the hidden meanings behind them. Although archaeologists are still not sure about the true purpose of the Palpa lines, recent archaeological studies have shown that the Palpa lines are much older than those of Nazca. While their true purpose still remains unknown today, researchers believe these geometric shapes were used for worshipping gods. They were supposed to control the forces of nature, such as earthquakes, droughts, and floods. Others see them as terrestrial markers for astronomical rituals. The ancient inhabitants of Paracas, well known for their elongated skulls, as I mentioned earlier in the video, are a subject of heated debate among researchers. Indeed, there are many anomalies related to the Paracas skull. From there, it has been suggested by the most imaginative minds that the region was once inhabited by people from other planets, and that the glyphs present would be messages to send to them. Whether you're new or a regular viewer, you know that for me, the answers are found on Earth, not in flying saucers. Then in terms of location, unlike the Nazca lines, which really spread over dozens, even hundreds of square kilometers, the Palpa's lines, on the other hand, are not on the ground. They are rather placed on the sides of hills, on the sides of mountains, even on mountains that have this kind of slightly cut, abraded shape. Another interesting fact that will allow me to correct something I mentioned in last year's video. The enigmatic so-called tracks identified in the region do not belong to the Nazca lines, but actually are part of the Palpa's lines. So, when I say tracks, it's really in quotation marks. To put it simply, it's to use the term that's used by the alternatives, so that you have all the data on your side, but also to give the simplest picture of what we're seeing. As seen in these images, some lines extend for several kilometers, while others span several dozen kilometers. Completely straight drawings that raise questions. That's my view, which raises even more fascinating questions than the Nazca lines. And regarding these flattened mountains, whether it's an absolutely colossal construction site or simply a natural formation, one thing is certain, on this issue, opinions are always extremely divided. Of course, the leading experts strongly oppose this term, a lead that would plunge into other theories about ancient astronauts, which, as you know, I do not subscribe to. What remains certain is that our ancestors created these enormous and incredible surfaces that seem to be the result of cuts in the mountain. And so, the explanation of religious ritual paths hardly satisfies the curious. One of the most interesting geoglyphs of Palpa is the star, also called the ancient Mandala. It is interesting to note that this shape is found in an extremely remote area located at the top of an arid mountain plateau, which really confuses those who have been able to observe it directly on site. The mandala is considered a ritual symbol in Indian religions and represents the universe. Today, the mandala has become a generic term used to describe any diagram or geometric pattern representing the cosmos. The mandala also represents the concept of life as an infinite cycle. But what is this Indian symbol doing in Peru? Who created it? And how did the indigenous people know about it? It reminds me a bit of the video I made about the possibility that the Sumerians once visited Peru. Another element here suggests that perhaps, at one time we had a world population that was not only global in terms of occupation, but also mobile on a global scale. The Palpa mandala and its details seem to have been engraved with extreme precision. While not as renowned as the Nazca lines, the Palpa lines are equally captivating in my view. Other opinions mention a complex solar calendar created by the Paracas culture, which lived in the region hundreds of years before the Nazca people. The question we can ask ourselves now is, who drew these lines, as I mentioned at the start of the video? Personally, I think they come from two different peoples, simply because they have fundamentally different characteristics. Please also leave a comment about what the text inspires in you today. Do you think the Palpa and Nazca lines were created by the same people and from the same era? In any case, I would also like to know your opinions, not only to share with you, but so that you can also share with each other directly in the comments. If this is your first time coming across these videos, feel free to subscribe to the channel to get updates on future videos by clicking the little bell to receive all notifications. While waiting for your comments, I'll get back to work to bring you even more videos about South America and other parts of the world. And of course, let's not forget Egypt, a country from which I brought back a ton of footage shot directly on location during my last trip. And you'll see that I'm going to bring you brand new exclusive videos for the channel that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. Until then, stay passionate, open-minded, and I'll see you soon. Ciao! Subtitles, Father?